Hi, my name's Abrianna, and this is my story. When I was asked to share with you guys what God is doing in my life right now, my instant reaction was, he's not really doing anything right now. And then I had to put myself in check real quick, and I was like, just because I don't have some big angelic story doesn't mean that God's not working, and he's showing up every single day, even on the days that I fall short. And so I'm a big journaler, and I remember specifically writing in my journal after my first service at Slow City Church. So I was like, okay, let's go look at that. And I went back, and on September 8th, 2019, this is the intro to my journal. It says, "This changes everything! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, everything, period. I can breathe again, like real full breaths. I'm hopeful, I'm thankful, but sometimes I feel like Zacchaeus. Ugh." So yes, I still write in my journal like a 10-year-old who just got their first diary. And I remember I almost get emotional thinking about writing that journal entry, because I remember how broken I was at that point in time. And 2019 was really tough. I was going through a dark bout of depression, and I would just get out of bed to go to work, and then I'd come back home and crawl into bed and turn off all the lights, just wanting to fall asleep and not be in my head anymore. And my boyfriend at the time, I remember telling him, like, I want you here. Don't look at me. Don't talk to me. Don't make me talk. And he was so good and just worked with me through that. And one day I was laying in bed on Instagram scrolling through, and I saw a sponsored ad for Slow City Church. And that was truly the first time in a while that I was like, I want to leave the house. I want to go somewhere. So that upcoming Sunday, I walked the couple blocks down to Slow City, and this was back when we were allowed to be in a building. I sat up at the top of the theater, and the service hadn't even started yet, and I was already in tears. That was the first time that I felt this like sense of relief. And I knew right then that everything was going to work itself out, and that it would be all right. And at that moment, I was reminded of God's faithfulness, of him following through on promises, and his perfect timing. So I'm looking through my journal some more, and my last entry before coming into 2020, it ended with, "When you're in over your head, I'll be with you." Isaiah 43:2. And I had no idea how fitting that would be for this upcoming year. I don't know about you guys, but 2020 was pretty wild. The days that I felt like I was in over my head, which were a lot, I never felt alone. And to me, that's God following through on his promise to stick by our side. I think back on 2020, and I experienced loss in my family. I got engaged. I was able to buy a house. I changed roles in my job. I ran for city council in Slow. I was publicly shamed and falsely criticized by friends and strangers alike, but I also had more support than I could ever imagine, and I gained lifetime friends in that period. And I lost the election, but I grew stronger and more confident in God's word, and I was truly happier than I've ever been in my life. And I look back and I think of God as the ultimate promise keeper, and the one who's never going to abandon me when I feel alone. I'm grateful for how he prepared me leading into this year. That would be so crazy. And I'm excited because I know that right now I'm still a work in progress, and there's so much more ahead of me. But I'm at peace. I don't know what it is, but I know that God's going to be walking me through this. I'm grateful. I'm sharing my story of gratefulness, and I've learned that I'm to always just intentionally look for blessings. no matter how big or small, when you look for something, like I used to play this game called the yellow car game where I was looking for a yellow car, and they're literally everywhere when you're looking for them. So I'm transitioning that to my life and looking for the blessings, and I'm thankful that they're everywhere.